House tier list, man. Let's get straight to it, man.
From a $2 billion mega mansion to a $50,000 tiny home, this is the billionaire house tier list.
All right,
Vladimir Putin has a net worth of $200 billion and he's got a palace with an underground bunker. S tier. Mark Zuckerberg bought 1,000 football fields of land in Hawaii so he could build a massive compound with a self-sustainable underground bunker, over a dozen houses including 2 mansions and a web of disc-shaped tree houses connected by rope bridges. Solid B tier. In 1984, Steve Jobs bought a California mansion called the Jackling House. It was designed in 1925 by famous architect George Washington Smith for famous rich guy Daniel Jackling. Steve Jobs wanted to burn it down. California said no, because of its historical significance. Steve Jobs really wanted to burn it down. He went on record calling the house a dump. He said Jackling had no taste and that George Washington Smith was a nobody. He then abandoned the house and let it rot for 10 years. The house became such a mess that he was finally given permission to destroy it. 8 months later, he died, making the brutal destruction of this innocent house one of Steve Jobs' final victories. I don't get why you hated on this house so much. I'd say it's a strong C tier. World famous pharmaceutical salesman El Chapo had a peak net worth of $12 billion. He was said to have houses at every single beach and a ranch in every single state. He also had the government looking for him in every single state. So rather than living in his luxurious mansions, he was forced to stay in discreet safe houses to avoid the law. These unassuming homes had hidden escape routes, connecting Chapo to a network of underground tunnels that allowed him to escape capture and keep his drug empire running.
Crazy.
This man was a Harriet Tubman of crack. Solid F tier.
Nah, that's
Donald
insane.
Trump's
That's
official
insane. That's
residence
insane.
is
Right,
a 17-acre Florida resort called Mar-a-Lago. After buying it in 1985, Donald made a few changes. In his yard, he put an 80-foot tall American flag.
That's insane.
In his bathroom, he added a few classified documents from the White House. But the biggest change he made was turning the property into an exclusive club. For a $200,000 entry fee, you could become a Mar-a-Lago member and hang out with rich people.
$200,000 entry fee? Is that?
He was a member of Trump's club until 2007, when he got kicked out for hitting on a teenager. Classic Jeffrey. The club's been printing over $20 million a year, making Mar-a-Lago one of Trump's most lucrative investments. It's a somewhat controversial house, but it is a nice place. Being the Queen of England has a lot of perks. You get the coolest jewelry collection of all time. You get to drive a Bentley limo without needing a license. You get to pay taxes when you feel like it. But the coolest part of being the queen is living in the $5 billion Buckingham Palace. This 775-room behemoth has everything you need to be the ultimate rich person. You got a throne room, a multi-billion-dollar art gallery, London's biggest private garden, and an ATM in your basement so you can take out a brick and flex on your 800 staff members. This place is so big, it has its own zip code. I think I'm too poor to be looking at this house.
Yeah, that's S tier for sure.
The co-founder of Google has 5 private islands. What is Larry Page doing on his 5 private islands? Nearby locals haven't noticed anything unusual except for a few helicopters. But in a 2013 conference, we may have gotten a glimpse into the answer.
So there's many exciting and important things you could do that you just can't do because they're illegal. So maybe we should set aside a small part of the world where we can try out some new things and figure out what is the effect on society, what's the effect on people.
So in case you can't read between the lines, Larry Page is using his islands to perform human experiments on children. S tier. In a 2010 letter to shareholders, stock market genius Warren Buffett said that his 3rd best investment was his house. In 1958, he bought a $30,000 home in a quiet neighborhood of Omaha, Nebraska. The property is now worth over 40 times what he bought it for, which might seem like an amazing financial return. However, if he had instead invested that $30K into the stock market, he would have made $3 million. The reason Buffett considers his house such a good investment is not because of numbers, but because of the memories it brought him and his family.
Right.
Mukesh Ambani, the richest man in India, dropped $2 billion on a 27-story mega mansion in the middle of the hood.
27 million?
Creative visionary Kanye West said this in a 2018 interview.
I'm gonna be one of the biggest real estate developers of all time. I'm tired of the McMansions, all the Spanish roof homes and stuff like that. Like, that shit whack, bro. Like, everybody house whack. It's trash.
Kanye bought this house in 2023. It was originally a church in Los Angeles that he planned to use for his Donda Academy school, but it's since been left to rot. In 2019, Kanye started building massive dome-shaped structures inspired by Star Wars that he believed would revolutionize affordable housing. He was seconds away from solving the homelessness crisis when California shut him down because they already have tents for that. Recently, Kanye bought a $57 million Malibu home, paid someone 20 grand a week to destroy it, then listed it back up for sale for $4 million less than what he bought it for. And on top of that, the guy that he paid to destroy it, turns out he never paid him. So now he's also getting sued after taking L after L after L. Kanye officially announced that he would be building a 100,000 acre city in the Middle East. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba,
Bro, I don't
owned
even
a
know if that's true or
$191
not.
million mansion on the
Whoa.
tallest hill in Hong Kong Island. It offers a beautiful view of the world's most unaffordable city. However, Mr. Ma might not be able to appreciate this view any longer because in late 2020 at an economic conference, he made the grave mistake of criticizing the Chinese government.
Goes
Jack Ma
missing.
isn't dead, by the way. He ended up reappearing in China a few months later. Hopefully, Supreme Leader Xi Jinping let him keep his cool house.
No, that's
Michael
crazy.
Jordan's mansion
Oh, we all know
could be
about
yours for $14,855,000. It's actually been on sale for over a decade. The main reason no one's buying it is because it's in Illinois. On top of that, a lot of the home's features are too unique to Jordan. Not many buyers would want front gates with someone else's jersey number, a theater
Yeah.
with someone else's logo, and a basketball court with the names of someone else's kids. Marking your territory is effective for keeping people from eating your pizza, and
I don't
also
even
keeping
know why
people
MJ
from
didn't
buying
keep
your
that
house.
house,
Now to
man.
the average broke person like myself, having a $15 million house that's not selling
You might as well
might
keep
seem
it,
like an
buddy.
absolute disaster, but for Michael Jordan, he's probably not that worried. Solid D tier. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon.com from the garage of a house he was renting for $890 a month. He's now the 25th largest landowner in the United States. Jeff has properties all across the country. His main home was a $10 million mansion in Washington until 2023 when he moved to Florida so he could be closer to his family and further from the IRS. He lives on a man-made island off the coast of Miami where he bought a $68 million mansion. 2 months later, he spent $79 million on the one next door.
What?
It's a pretty chill place, I'd say B tier. But he's also evading taxes, so that bumps him up to A tier.
Yeah, I was
Saudi
about to
Crown
say,
Prince
regarding that,
Mohammed
bro,
bin
he gotta be
Salman
A tier.
dropped 300 mil on a French chateau. It has a nightclub, a moat with an underwater aquarium, and modern technology that can all be controlled with an iPhone. The building might seem like a historic landmark, but it was actually built in 2009 by Saudi businessman Ahmad Khashoggi. The wealthy developer probably won't be doing business with the Crown Prince anytime soon, because in 2018, according to the CIA, the Crown Prince assassinated his cousin. If Ahmad and the Crown Prince ever link up again, that might be an awkward
Kim
conversation.
Kardashian is still
It's
on
pretty
this
cool
list.
house though. Billionaire's
Elon
Row
Musk,
is a
too.
New York City neighborhood with the tallest and most expensive buildings in the world. The people that buy these apartments aren't
why would you even wanna
neighborhood
live
with
in
the
this?
tallest and most
Why would you even want to live in this, bro? Like, let's just keep it 100, bro. Why would you want to live in something like this?
expensive buildings in the world. The people that buy these apartments aren't buying apartments. They're investing in furnished capitalism.
The majority of people who are actually living here aren't actually living here. They're using these apartments for places to store value.
It's a brand. It's like a Birkin bag. Where do you live? 157. Where do you live? 111. Where do you live? 220.
In 2019, billionaire
Hell
investor
no.
Ken Griffin bought 4 floors of 220 Central Park South for $238 million, making it the most expensive real estate purchase in the United States.
What did he
220
do that
holds the
for?
most desirable view in the city, being the only Billionaire's Row tower located directly on Central Park. I mess
To
with
think
Ken
about it, though, they probably doing stuff like, you know what I'm saying, doing the Airbnb-ish, all that. But you gotta think about it, man. Letting people rent it out, like, this is a smart
Griffin,
investment, though.
but I
when you
think
really think about it.
$240 million for a concrete brick is a little bit too much. Bill Gates has a $150 million complex in Washington. It has an epic library with a manuscript written by Leonardo da Vinci. That's the only interior footage of his house on the internet, so some of the following visuals will be made with AI.
AI is a brilliant tool.
Yeah.
Bill Gates has a 60-foot indoor swimming pool. Inside of it is an underwater sound system, but that's nothing compared to his personal Lake Washington beach that has sand imported from the Caribbean. He also has a trampoline room, walls covered in screens, and his favorite tree that he monitors electronically.
I ain't gonna lie, that
24
one's
hours a
different. I ain't
day.
never heard
There's some
anybody
cool
with a
tech in this
trampoline
house.
room.
I'd say a solid
I ain't
B tier.
gonna lie.
In 2002, Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, got a letter from his accountant. It listed a few of his
Shout out
expenses,
Oracle
like his
Arena.
$25 million villa in Japan, $194 million yacht, and $200 million
Whoa.
Japanese temple in California. Larry's net worth at the time was $23 billion, but his accountant was still concerned. I'm worried, Larry. It's imperative that we start to budget and plan. new purchases should be kept.
Oracle CEO and billionaire Larry Ellison has just made a rather large investment or purchase. He's just bought the island of Lanai.
S tier. Kim Kardashian bought a $20 million home in 2014 with her then husband Kanye West. They spent 3 years transforming it into what they described as a minimal monastery and what others described as an expensive psych ward. This house is a really cool art project.
I about to say, bro,
now,
I ain't gonna lie.
In the
That
middle
shit
of
was kinda
this
mid.
strange time where you're selling your houses, you say you don't want any material possessions, and
I'm slightly sad about it, actually.
well, if you're sad about it, why are you doing it?
On May 1st of 2020, Elon Musk announced that he would be selling almost all physical possessions, including his homes. And he stayed true to his word, selling off each of his California mansions one by one.
Whoa, 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 Elon.
And he stayed true to his word, selling off
Nigga had 8 cribs.
each of his
He
California
sold them all. Where he
mansions
finna
one by
live?
one.
Where
He then
finna live?
acquired a $50,000 tiny home.
I think possessions kind of weigh you down. They're kind of an attack vector. People say, "Hey, billionaire, you got all this stuff." Like, well, now I don't have stuff. Now what are you gonna do?
Elon's $50,000 tiny home is actually his guest house. His main home is a South Texas rental property. It's technically only worth 45 grand, but he also spent 200,000 building an 8-foot fence around it and covering it with security cameras.
Yeah, you
Elon
got
says
to.
he got rid of his stuff when he sold off his $100 million real estate portfolio. But considering that only accounts for 0.05% of his wealth, he still has a lot of stuff after all.
Bro, Elon got everything. Let's just keep it 100, man. Shout out Jack Pockets for this video, man. This video is very interesting. I'm surprised Kim Kardashian is in the D tier. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But we all know everybody in this S tier was predictable. A tier. Donald Trump's could have been in the S tier too, but shout out Jack Pockets for the video, man.